Let me say to you that as a Democrat, my job is to respect this new precedence by you for the guidance of the House. We act not for today, but for tomorrow. Therefore, if that is the pleasure of the Speaker, so be it. What is ahead of us is unknown. So this is good to guide the unknown. I thank you. Mr. Speaker, that said, I proceed to ask the Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry what progress has been made in the development of a comprehensive national agro-industry policy and how the ministry intends to ensure that this policy translates into value addition, improved market access, and export-led growth for Ghana's agricultural sector.
Honorable Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has initiated the development of a national agribusiness policy. The strategic focus of this policy is linked to value addition and extension of selected strategic value chains across the country. Consequently, a key highlight of the policy is to develop local resources of sustainable high-quality agro-industrial raw materials to strengthen the manufacturing sector and reduce reliance on foreign imports. Indeed, a 60,000-acre land has been earmarked in Yeji and its surroundings to promote sustainable feeding of industry through large-scale contract farming, even before the launch of the policy. Mr. Speaker, in line with the implementation of the 24-hour-plus economic policy, the National Agribusiness Policy, as noted by His Excellency the President, will aim to facilitate rather than dominate investment in the development of agro-industrial parks across the country in order to stimulate and enhance agro-based value chains. In view of this, the policy will facilitate investment into establishment of agro-industrial zones in Tamale, Salaga, Kintampo North, among others. Additionally, the Buza Agro-Industrial Park has been proposed for support under the Big Push program. Mr. Speaker, as part of efforts to deepen stakeholder engagement and drive momentum behind the development of the policy, the ministry will convene a high-level agribusiness forum on the 24th of July 2025 with the President in attendance to underscore the national importance of this initiative. The forum will serve as a platform for gathering strategic insight and validating priorities. A follow-up stakeholder engagement will be held a week after the forum to consolidate the input received and build broad consensus ahead of the policy's finalization. I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Any supplementary question?
Mr. Speaker, before I proceed to my supplementary question, may I draw your attention to a matter which I would pray you to make a determination. Mr. Speaker, I have come through the rules. There is no such express provision that allows a Minister of State to use the dispatch box to answer questions. Mr. Speaker, since we are in an era of insisting on the rules, I just want to bring this to your attention. It is for Speaker to make a determination as to whether or not a Minister of State can at all times use the dispatch box to answer questions. That said, and counting on your ruling on this matter for the records, I proceed with my first supplementary question.
But you've asked, you raise an issue. Instead of asking a supplementary question, you raise an issue. You can resume your seat. We'll resolve
Mr. Speaker,
your,
yes, I
your
want
issue.
You to rule on
yes, yes.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, with respect, I want you and I to maintain a certain tempo. You are talking to me. Let me get back to you. I'm saying that I raise the issue for your consideration. If it's your pleasure that you make the determination, which indeed was my prayer, it's fair. So
yes, but in making the statement,
yes,
you said you are raising it for my determination.
That is correct.
Yes. By practice, any issue raised for a determination of the speaker, if a member is on his feet, you grant audience to that particular member. Then
fine.
You can proceed to make your determination. So kindly resume your seat. Let me hear the member on his feet.
That's no problem, Mr. Speaker.
So that I can make the determination appropriately.
It is fair.
Yes.
Hear him, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, yes. Yes, Honorable Dafamoko.
Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, in answer to the issue raised by the minority leader regarding the non-provision of the place for answering questions by ministers, Speaker, Order 88 is very clear. Please, I listen to him quietly. Order 88 of our standing orders. Mr. Speaker, the head note of that order is to this effect: manner of asking and answering question. Speaker, 88.5, I should say, provides for the manner that the question be answered. It reads, the answer to the question shall be read by the minister, member, or head of the independent constitutional body to whom the question is directed. Mr. Speaker, so the question to you, that the rules do not provide a place for the minister to stand and answer this question, is moot. It's moot. Mr. Speaker, because by practice, unless, please. Mr. Speaker, please, I listen to your leader in quietude. So it's important you also listen to me in quietude. Oh, this is the symbol for Osahene proper. Mr. Speaker, so the question the minority leader seeks to ask you, that in the absence of a specific provision detailing where the Minister of State should rise and respond to the questions, is moot, because by practice, the ministers ordinarily speaks and answers to questions from the dispatch box, ordinarily, and on special occasions such as the provision and the ceremonial speeches, they speak and address the House from the dispatch box. So the minister responsible for trade and agro-business in this House, as we speak, is here in her capacity as Minister of State to respond to questions posed by members. If she were here in her capacity as a member of parliament, she would have taken her proper seats. So the minority leader, with all due respect to him, must have recourse to the practices of this House, as well as the standing orders of this House, to have effect on the business that we conduct. and the conventions, they all fall under practices.
Honourable Member, conclude.
So, Mr. Speaker, let me conclude by urging you that the President's request by the minority leader for you to give direction is totally needless, because by practice the direction has already been provided. I thank you for the opportunity.
Well, honourable members, few minutes ago, I delivered a ruling. Minority leader is calling on me to again rule based on not having express provision in our rules. I recall in delivering my ruling, I quoted Order 5 verbatim. Probably some members did not listen to me. I'll quote it again. Order 5.1. Subject to the provisions of the Constitution and any other enactment, where there is doubt, this order shall be interpreted by Mr. Speaker. 2. In any case not provided for in this order, Mr. Speaker shall decide on procedural question. Honourable members, though the Honourable Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry is a member of Parliament, she is not here to answer questions as a member of Parliament. She is here in a capacity as a minister responsible for trade, agribusiness, and industry. Honourable members, we all have a place to rise and speak. But ministers do not have a place to rise and speak. The only place available for the minister is to sit by the leader and use the dispatch box to answer the question. Therefore, if you are talking about member rising at his place and speak, this cannot be applicable to a minister. I recall Lord Denny once said, the law is about common sense, and common sense is the law. The only place available for a minister is to use the dispatch box. So I so rule that the minister or ministers that will come to the House can use a dispatch box in responding to questions. So, Minister, you have a right to use the dispatch box to answer your question. Any supplementary question? Honourable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Thank you for your two rulings. Mr. Speaker, the second invitation to you was to the effect that there be no express provision. There be no express provision. You should make a determination. You've just told us that common sense is the law. Mr. Speaker, previously it was a rule where there was no express provision. But now, when there was no express provision, common sense has applied. Mr. Speaker, we have heard, and shall we yield in obedience to these new precedents? Mr. Speaker, common sense is the rule. Mr. Speaker, may the minister confirm whether the policy includes targeted support for smallholder farmers and agro-processors, particularly in rural areas, to ensure inclusive participation in the value chain.
Honourable Minister, you have the floor. Honourable Minister, do you want him to repeat the question? Yes. Honourable Member, repeat your question. Please repeat your question.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, this afternoon you are in a mood of rules. I've asked my question. If the minister wants clarity, she should use the
Honorable member,
records.
I preside over the House.
Yes.
I don't like a situation where the minister tries to talk across.
Very well.
That is why I ask, do you want the honorable member to repeat the question? And when she said yes, I said repeat the question. This one too, are we going to
Mr.
argue
Speaker,
over
I've not
it?
heard her make that request for the records.
I am
That's why I
asking
asked
you to repeat your question.
Very well, then so be it. Mr. Speaker, if her side will be quiet, they will hear. The minister and her leader should tell the backbench to at least be quiet so that the minister can hear. He set fire and then he went to have his lunch. He's back to set another fire.
Honorable Minority Leader, the simple request I made is repeat your question.
Mr. Speaker, that is so, but the backbench must be quiet so that the minister can hear. And the leader of government business must tell his backbench to be quiet. He set fire in the House, he left, he's back. If he wants to set fire again, so be it, he should. Mr. Speaker, to ask the minister to confirm whether the policy includes targeted support for smallholder farmers and agro-processors, particularly in rural areas, to ensure inclusive participation in the value chain.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the policy does not include smallholder farmers. That is in the domain of the Ministry of Agriculture. What we do is commercial contract farming, and that applies to huge hectares of land. That is what the policy takes care of. But for small agro-processors, yes, they are included in the policy. Thank you very much.
Any further question?
Rightly so, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the minister was very loud in telling us that so far it is only Techiman that this policy has commenced. May I know from the minister what informed the selection of Techiman as the first place for implementation of this policy and not in Boko? Not
Yes,
in
Honorable
any
Minister.
other place in Ghana. You said Techiman. That is what you said.
Honorable
Techiman.
Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my answer to Honorable Osahene Alexander Kwame Na Afenyo-Markins did not include the starting of any project in Techiman, and my answer did not include Techiman. I thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, with respect.
Any further question?
Mr. Speaker, that is so. This is a House of Records. This is the House of Records. Madam Minister, what informed your choice of Techiman for the acquisition of land? When there are other places, can you tell us how you came by selecting Techiman for land acquisition? Share with us how you came by only Techiman.
So, Honorable Minister, this question this time round is on selection Techiman for acquisition of land.
Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, I repeat myself. My answer did not mention Techiman, and it's here. You can play back the answer I gave. I did not mention Techiman. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable members, order.
the minister is a lawyer, and she knows the consequences.
Honorable members, order.
Mr. Speaker, I leave the consequences to her. The record will bear me out. Mr. Speaker, can the minister share with us, by way of clarity, the role of district-level industrial zones or agro-processing hubs in the operationalization of the policy, and whether timelines have been set for the establishment.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Because the MP for Efutu mentioned the fact that I'm a lawyer and I know the consequences, I have to indicate that I am a lawyer and I know what I say. And I'll answer questions that have been asked. I will not go beyond a question that have been asked. He asked Techiman, and once Techiman was not mentioned, I end there. Techiman was not mentioned, and I repeat myself. You can look at the Hansard when it's done. Then my next one. Yes, Mr. Speaker, the policy dialogue will start on the 24th of July. I thank you for this question because it's giving me the opportunity to also apprise Ghanaians what we are doing. And to tell you that the dialogue will start on the 24th. It is when the dialogue starts that we do the policy, that we have the timelines to execute our policy. But before the timelines, before the policy, we cannot have timelines. So we have to wait until 24th when we start the dialogue on the policy. Exactly. I'll invite the leadership of both the majority and the minority to be part of the discussion so that you are able to also contribute. Oh, yes, he will come. So that he will be able to share his experiences and then also bring to bear what you want the policy to have. It's a big dialogue, and every important person in this space will be invited, including the minority leader. I thank you.
Well, Mr. Speaker.
Any further question?
Mr. Speaker, if the minister is unable to share with us whether there will be district-level zones and agro-processing hubs just because it's not been launched, that is it. That's fine. And it's also clear that since he was sworn in January, he's telling us that she's yet to.
Honorable Minority,
that's fine.
Honorable
that's fine.
Minority Leader, with all due respect, I mean, as a leader, I always advent your mind to Order 88.7. I always advent your mind to Order 88.7 that you cannot address the House, you can't raise any argument or offer an opinion when a member is asking question. These are things prohibited by the rules. So let's go by the rules.
Speaker, we always are guided. Mr. Speaker, the minister just shared with us in an answer by saying that indeed, since he took office, this policy has not been rolled out yet. And then she also indicated that it is only at the launch that some of the issues will come up. Mr. Speaker, may I therefore know from her whether, as part of the policy, there is a specific strategy to link local agro-industrial production with international markets, particularly under the African Free Continental Trade Area framework.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area is already working, and as part of the mandate of the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, we are supposed to link local industry to take advantage of what AFTA presents. This does not need the agribusiness policy for same to happen. I'm happy to inform the House that we are already linking businesses to international community, and this does not need the policy. AFTA is on course. We are doing harmonization. We are helping people to be export ready, to take advantage of what AFTA presents. And so we don't need that policy. The policy is okay to maybe help other people to come on board. But this is going on already, and we are doing a lot in that space of Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which we are happy to host as a country. The headquarters of Africa Continental Free Trade Area is in Ghana, and we are taking advantage of that to help people export more. I thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, may I know from the Honorable Minister?
Honorable Minority Leader, with all due respect, the rule says you are entitled to 5 questions, and you have asked 5 questions.
Mr. Speaker,
I can remind you of the gist of the questions
Mr.
that
Speaker,
you have
with
asked.
respect to you, this is my 5th question. You disallowed one.
I'd never disallowed any
No, you
question.
did. You said that one was so. I withdrew that.
No,
So this is the 5th.
I never disallowed
Mr.
any
Speaker,
question.
you may guide us. This is the 5th question.
Yes. First,
Yes.
your question was the targeted support. Second, what informed the opinion in choosing Techima? 3, why was Techima chosen for the acquisition of the land? 4, the district level this thing. Then the 5 is the local production linking with the international markets.
Mr. Speaker, with respect.
Am I right?
Mr. Speaker, you are not right. With respect. Mr. Speaker, don't let us go in on a certain part. The mood is not good for controversy. Mr. Speaker, on the Techima issue, one was withdrawn. She came to insist. So this is the final one. Let me proceed to end the day on that.
Yes, but honorable member, if you ask a question and the
Mr.
minister
Speaker,
said...
she decided to, because that was withdrawn. She decided to go to emphasize that. So this is the 5th question. This is the final question, with respect. Mr. Speaker, I want to know from the Honorable Minister whether the ministry has conducted...
Did you say the minister withdrew the question or I overrule you?
Which one?
Minister withdrew the question or I overrule you? Or you have withdrawn the question?
Yes, that's what I did.
After answering?
No, she decided to go to emphasize the same point again. It wasn't based on the question. This is my faith. Please.
You may ask your last question.
Very well. Mr. Speaker, are you participating in the process? Mr. Speaker, I want to know from the minister whether the ministry has conducted any baseline assessment of existing agro-processing capacity across the country. And if so, how is this informing the rollout of the policy? What I'm saying is that has your ministry conducted any baseline assessment of the existing agro-processing companies and their capacity across the country? And if so, how is this informing the rolling out of the policy? That's my final question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the capacities of all companies that have registered with the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry is a matter of fact, which is available. And I will say that the provision of agro-parks is informed by the need of other countries and the possibility of export and also for import substitution. So it's not the availability of the agro-processing capacity alone that guides the institution of agro-parks, but the need of the country as well as the availability of market for same to be exported. I thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Jerry Ahmed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Jerry.
Sorry.
Yes, Honorable Aguja.
Mr. Speaker, we spent nearly 2.5 hours simply because the respected leader of the minority decided to litigate on an issue which is actually an issue which we shouldn't have done. And then he took so long. Mr. Speaker, the House has got ministers of state also as members here. We see regularly colleagues insisting that ministers of state who are members of parliament should sit here. Mr. Speaker, is this the best way to spend 2.5 hours? Isn't it the case that democracy should be practiced with some responsibility? Mr. Speaker, It should never be the case that the fact that we have liberties as leaders, we can be taken on a ride. We can be taken on a ride where a leader can hijack the house and go on his own frolic for 2.5 hours and expect all of us to sit here and be listening. Mr. Speaker, I think that leadership should work on this. It is just not fair. Everybody says members of parliament are stressed and it's affecting our health. Why can't this affect our health? Mr. Speaker, the next time there are questions, Mr. Speaker, when you see any of us on a tangent that is leading to nowhere, I suggest that you stop us in our track. This is not fair. It is not fair.
Very well, Honorable Minister.
We've all been in leadership before.
Yes,
I've been a leader
Minister,
before.
Your point is well noted. Your point is well noted. Yes, Majority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, our rules are very clear. Order 77. 77.1 says a minister, a member, or the head of an independent constitutional body shall, by order of the House, attend a sitting of the House to answer a question. But 2 is what is appropriate here. Question time shall ordinarily not exceed 1 hour. 1 hour. Question time shall ordinarily not exceed 1 hour, except that the Speaker may permit a question after the expiration of the time stated. So, Speaker, I think that it is time for us to begin to respect our own rules. Question hour is 1 hour. 1 hour. So, Mr. Speaker, henceforth, this side, I will insist on the 1 hour rule. I will insist on the 1 hour rule, and questions will be asked. After 1 hour, we'll move on to other business of the House. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge you, today is an exception, but subsequently, we'll insist on the 1 hour rule. And it's only under exceptional circumstances that we will accept questions to be asked after 1 hour. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Minority Whip.
Speaker, we listen to the leader.
These are defined.
Honorable Minority
Speaker,
Chief
he's
Whip.
seeking to take away your powers.
Honorable Minority
The next
Chief
moment,
Whip.
he will stage a coup.
Honorable Minority Chief Whip. The House sits for a stated period, unless extended by the Speaker. Is it misplaced when a member gets up to remind the Speaker whether to exercise the discretion to extend the time or not to extend the time?
Speaker, with respect, the words of our respected leader does not constitute a reminder. He said, I will insist. That cannot be interpreted to mean a reminder.
Yes.
So if it is the case that he's withdrawing,
when he said he's
that he wants to
insisting,
remind you,
when he said he's insisting, and I used the standing order to extend the period, what happened?
Speaker, we are in your hands.
Honorable Jerry Ahmed, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister of Trade and Agribusiness if at all there has been any acquisition of any parcel of land, where and how much is involved in the acquisition. Thank you.
Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Lands have been earmarked for the project, not costed, not bought. Thank you.
Can we move to question 6B? Standing in the name of Dr. Isaac Yao Opoku, Member of Parliament for Ofinso.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for granting me the space. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry what steps the ministry is taking to curb the resurgence of inferior cement into the market. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in response to the resurgence of inferior cement on the market, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, through the Ghana Standard Authority, has adopted several strategic measures aimed at curbing this menace and ensuring that only high-quality cement products are available to customers. Firstly, inspections and sampling at cement manufacturing companies have been significantly increased. In April 2025, a nationwide round of unannounced inspection was conducted. These inspections covered all cement manufacturing companies across the country. A total of 82 samples were collected directly from factories for testing, while additional samples were purchased from market outlets and distributors to assess the quality of cement being sold to the general public. Secondly, surveillance inspections have been intensified. These inspections are carried out spontaneously to verify the appropriate composition ratios used in the production of cement and to examine the raw materials involved in the manufacturing process. Surveillance inspections provide critical real-time information about the actual composition of the cement output. The most recent surveillance operation was conducted between 6th of May and 15th of May 2025 by the Ghana Standards Authority. Thirdly, the scope and depth of product testing has been expanded. A variety of testing methods are now used to ensure cement products meet required standards. During last sampling exercise, all 82 samples underwent rigorous testing, including physical and chemical analysis, as well as advanced techniques such as X-ray, fluorescence, and X-ray diffraction. These tests are particularly focused on verifying the composition of the cement, which is often the area of great concern in substandard products. Lastly, Ghana Standard Authority, under the direction of the ministry, has enhanced its field enforcement capacity through deploying trading standard inspectors. Cement surveillance and price verification activities have already been carried out in several towns, including Goso, Sehi, Yoso, Takrade, Nsawam, Dodowa, and Nkoko. To support these efforts, an additional cohort of over 300 inspectors were commissioned on 3rd May 2025. These inspectors have been trained in enforcement protocols and will be deployed to various metropolitan, municipal, and district assembly once all administrative procedures related to the employment are finalized. This expansion will further strengthen regulatory oversight and bring enforcement activities closer to consumers throughout the country. I thank you.
Any supplementary question?
So, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, I want to thank the Minister for the comprehensive response. But, Speaker, if you remember, sometime in 2023, Ghana Standards Authority asked the 3 companies to shut down for producing inferior
Honorable Member,
cement.
You are not permitted to address the House.
Speaker, I'm not addressing, I'm just laying the foundation. I'm just laying the foundation. Speaker, it's very important. Speaker, so following that, your committee on trade and industry met with Ghana Standards Authority.
Honorable Member, ask a question.
Speaker,
if you don't have a question,
question,
please resume your seat.
Oh, Speaker, please allow me. It's important. Speaker. Speaker, I want to find out from the Honorable Minister whether he would consider publishing the results of Ghana Standards Authority to allay the fears of consumers, because we don't know what we are buying. There are so many products on the market, and
yes,
we don't know
Honorable
the quality
Minister,
of.
you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the question. Yes, it will not spoil anything, except to say that after each analysis has been done, any cement factory that is producing substandard cement will not be allowed to sell their cement or will close it down. So immediately anybody produces substandard cement, we will ensure that we protect customers. But of course, it will not spoil anything if we publish and say that they are doing well or are not doing well. Thank you very much.
Any further question?
Yeah. Very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to find out from the minister what is the frequency of inspection?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this is usually done every quarter. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kinsirinyako.
Mr. Speaker, in the responses of the Honorable Minister, she indicated that as part of the measures the ministry is taking to ensure that we have quality cements on our market, they embark upon unannounced visits, and they've also intensified their surveillance operations. I'd like to know from her if she will be kind enough to let us know the outcomes of these unannounced visits and the surveillance intensification. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me repeat that portion which says unannounced inspections. It's not unannounced visit by me. I indicated that the Ghana Standard Authority that has mandate to check the quality of cement that we produce in Ghana. But the reports of the analysis they did, the 82 analysis that they did, came out very well. I did not get a report of any of the companies so far producing substandard cement. But anytime that happens, I will instruct Ghana Standard Authority to do the needful. Thank you very much.
With respect, subsequent to...
Honorable member, you don't have the floor to ask a second supplementary question.
It's not a second...
Any other member having... Yes, Honorable Kwajo Opon Nkrumah. Honorable Kwajo Opon Nkrumah.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, under Act 328, the Department of Factories Inspectorate has power to do inspections when it comes to occupational work and safety, which includes materials being used. Is the ministry considering any collaboration in your surveillance exercise with the DFI?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think that it's in order if the ministry, Ghana Standard Authority especially, that has the mandate to do this, collaborate to ensure that we get a better effect of the what both authorities do. I don't see anything wrong with the collaborating and do that. So I think it's something that I'll take it in my stride and then look at.
Honourable members, let's move to the regular questions. Number 20. Standing in the name of Honourable Davis Ansan Opoku, Member of Parliament for Mpraiso.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to ask. The Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, the steps the ministry is taking to operationalize the Rural Enterprise Factory and Mpraiso in the Greater Kwahu Enclave. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, The factory at Impraiso is one of the 58 empowering novel agribusiness-led employment for youth factories being established by the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry under the Rural Enterprises Program, with financial support from International Fund for Agriculture Development, IFAD. The Impraiso Enable Youth Factory is dedicated to processing bananas into banana chips for both domestic and export markets. The construction of the factory was completed in 2023 to promote the long-term sustainability of the Enable Youth initiative and, by extension, ensure a good return on investment for the country. In line with this objective, the ministry resolved to engage private sector operators to manage and operate the factories under lease agreements. To that end, the ministry invited proposals through 2 separate advertisements: Daily Graphic of Wednesday, 18th October 2023, and Ghanaian Times of November 31 July 2024, from the private sector for the management and operation of the factories, including the one at Impraiso. However, neither advertisement attracted private sector interest in the Impraiso facility. Consequently, the ministry issued 4 additional advertisements: Daily Graphic on Monday, 10th March 2025, Ghanaian Times on Tuesday, 11th March 2025, Daily Graphic of Wednesday, 16th April 2025, and Ghanaian Times of Thursday, 17th April 2025. Once again, inviting proposal from the private sector for the management and operation of the factories, including Impraiso. As of the deadline indicated in the advertisement, 3 companies, happily now, Mr. Speaker, have submitted proposals for the management of the Impraiso facility, and these are currently under evaluation. All facilities under the Enable Youth Program operate within the agribusiness sector, and the ministry remains fully committed to ensuring their sustainable operation. To support this objective, the ministry is preparing to roll out the Feed the Industry program, which will serve as the anchor initiative for ensuring a consistent supply of sustainable, high-quality raw material to all Enable Youth factories. I thank you very much.
Any further question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in light of the Impraiso Enable Youth Factories focus on banana processing, I wish to ask the Minister what specific steps her ministry is taking to support banana farmers in the Impraiso area to ensure a sustainable and adequate supply of raw materials for the factory.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Like all the other Enable You factory, the Feed the Industry program will help the banana producers around that enclave to be able to feed the industry. So when it gets to that time, I'll be working closely with the MP for Impraiso to ensure that the factory in your area is taken care of. I thank you very much.
Any further questions?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank the Minister for the responses. Just to add that she mentioned some advertisements that went on radio, in the newspaper. I would urge the Minister that, subsequently, probably maybe MPs and MMDCs in this area should also be engaged. We come from a very industrial area. Our people are very enterprising. And I was surprised that the first advert will not get people, second advert will not. But I thank the Minister that today we have 3 companies that are interested in the Impraiso processing plant. I want to find out some timelines for the evaluation process and when these factories will be operationalized. Thank you very much.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much. To assure the MP from Impraiso that we are acting expeditiously to ensure that this happens in a very short time. I thank you very much.
We thank the Minister for attending to this very important question. Thank you. Hey, it's very, very important for my people. They are watching the Minister. She was there this Easter to launch the co-business forum. So they are watching her. Next year when she comes, we'll watch.
Let's move to question number 21, item number 721. Standing in the name of Honorable Dr. Tia Abdul Kabiru Mahama, Member of Parliament for Wale Wale. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I ask this question on behalf of the people of Wale Wale and the watermelon farmers, and to ask the Minister of Trade, Agribusinesses and Industry the steps being taken by the ministry to ensure operationalization of the Wale Wale watermelon factory that was recently commissioned under the One District, One Factory policy. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Wale Wale watermelon factory is operated by Champion Food and Beverages Limited, a wholly Ghanaian-owned company engaged in beverage manufacturing, distribution, and marketing. Incorporated in December 2019, the company was established to process watermelon into concentrate under the One District, One Factory initiative and is located in Loagri, near Wale Wale, in the West Mampu district of the Northeast region. Another factory by the same company was to be established in Tema to further process the concentrate and package it into juice for the local market. Mr. Speaker, through the Exim Bank of Ghana, the government has so far provided financial support totaling 50 million cedis to facilitate the acquisition of essential machinery and equipment for the project at Wale Wale. While mechanical works have been completed, a few components are still required to finalize the installation of the processing. To address outstanding issues and ensure the successful operationalization of the factory, the ministry, under my leadership, invited the company for discussion. During the discussion, the company indicated that the expected amount from Ghana Exim was not released on time, leading to delays in the completion of the project. Following this engagement, the ministry initiated discussion with Exim to facilitate further funding necessary for the project's completion. Mr. Speaker, as part of the discussion with the company, the ministry has further advised the company to install a juice processing component for the local market in Wale Wale instead of transporting the totality of the concentrate to Tema for processing into juice. This strategic shift is aimed at significantly reducing production costs and positioning the company to operate effectively within the 24-hour economy framework. In addition, the ministry has encouraged the company to diversify its operation to include other agro-processing produce, thereby enhancing its long-term sustainability. Mr. Speaker, I am pleased to inform this August House that following the ministry's intervention, the company is in China to finalize arrangements for the suppliers to complete and operationalize the factory. The ministry remains fully committed to ensuring that this project becomes operational as soon as practicable. I thank you very much.
Any supplementary?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you very much, Madam Minister, for the assurance and reassuring message you've given to the people of Wale. I want to find out the 50 million facility that was given, how much does it stand on the cost of the factory based on the engagement you have had with the company, the Champion Food Factory? What is the total cost of the project now? You can, Mr. Speaker, I think this is more audible, right? I would like to find out from the minister what is the current cost for the company to start operation, that from start to operate, since the review of the 50 million Ghana cedi project that it was initially built to cost. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much for your question. The Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, under the leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, is poised to ensuring that this watermelon factory come on stream. The owners of the company tells me, with documentary evidence for now, even though after their return from China it may change, that they need 38 million more. I am interested in ensuring that they receive that kind of funding so that the factory can be operationalized. That is why I engaged Exim. And so as of now, the amount they need is 38 million. And I'm working with Exim to ensure that we help them with that facility.
Any further question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my last supplementary question has to do with the value change. Critical to the sustenance of that particular watermelon factory is the outgrower or the input component. The conceptualization of this project was also to support the downstream, where farmers are going to produce in the specification.
Honourable member asks a question. You are violating the rules.
Mr. Speaker, I'm mindful of that, and I'm asking the question because if I don't say that, she will never understand the question. What measures are you taking, or are you putting in place to ensure that outgrowers who are supposed to feed this particular factory are taken and catered for under the project? Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much. Fortunately, the project took cognizance of the fact that raw materials had to be produced. And so Exim has also given money to a commercial contract farmer. He will deal with the outgrowers to ensure that the community benefit from the project by farming or cultivating watermelon. That is why the ministry has even advised them that they can go beyond watermelons to other fruits so that it is more sustainable. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Honourable members. Yes, Honourable Minister for Roads and Highways.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to ask the Minister whether when the factory was commissioned on the 22nd of November, as reported, 2024, as reported by Daily Graphic, whether the factory has actually produced anything close to what it was built to produce.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the factory has actually not produced the juice yet. The factory is not ready yet because that factory is only... Mr. Speaker, as I provided for in my answer, there needs to be a second factory before this factory can even say it is being operationalized, because that factory is solely for the production of concentrates. We need the bottling company to be established before that is done. So I can say that it is not ready. I don't know what it was commissioned for, Mr. Speaker, but what I can say now as Minister for Trade is that there needs to be a second industry before we can operationalize this one. And we are working together to ensure that they have the full complement so that they can be profitable for everybody.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Minister in an answer said the factory is for the production of concentrates, and for the actual juice to be produced, there's the need for another factory. So in the context of her own answer, is it her case that the factory as commissioned was fit for purpose in terms of it being ready to produce the concentrate?
Thank you very
Honorable
much.
Walanyo Chekwo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The factory, as we speak now, is not ready to even produce the concentrate. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister may have to clarify to this House. In one breath, her answer is to the effect that the factory has what it takes to produce concentrate. But for the actual juicing, there must be a second factory. And he assured the House that that is being worked upon. She mentioned some 38 million cedis. By way of clarity, can the minister share with this House the exact reason why the factory, although has been commissioned, but cannot produce the concentrate specifically?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to inform the House that I did not take part in the commissioning. And so I wouldn't know why the factory was commissioned without the readiness to produce. In my answer, I indicated, and I repeat a few of my sentences. While mechanical works have been completed, a few components are still required to finalize the installation of the processing. So I have indicated that the factory is not ready, even though it's built to manufacture or produce concentrate. So there is no ambiguity about my answer. There is no conflicting point in my answer. I have stated categorically that this is what the factory was meant to do, but my answer indicated clearly that it has not been finalized. The factory itself is not ready. I am happy as Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, working under the instructions of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, to ensure that the watermelon factory is completed, ready to do what it is supposed to do. And so these are my answers. I thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Jerry Ahmed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, was it the case that the machines and all equipment were fixed and that all that the company needed at the point in time was just materials to do a test run? As in working capital.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have indicated that the factory is not ready. What the factory needs is not raw materials only. I repeat that some components are still needed to be fixed in the, well, that how it was commissioned, it will be left with those who commissioned to answer. Mr. Speaker, what I can say in answer to my colleagues' question is the fact that the factory is not ready. That is why in my answer I indicated that the owners are in China right now discussing so that the manufacturers will come with the other components to finalize the operationalization of the factory. These answers are very clear. I'm clear in my mind what I say the position of the factory is. But I can add that in good faith, we are all working together to ensure that we operationalize it, because it's going to create a lot of jobs for the youth in that area. It's going to help the farmers in that area. It can even grow to a point where we export what they produce. So I am number ready to ensure that the right things are done. But the current position of the company is that it is not ready. I thank you.
Honorable Bajra. And honorable members, that may be the last supplementary question because we have a bit of questions for the minister to answer. Yes, Honorable Bajra.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I heard the minister clearly says that the factory is not ready because they needed additional component or additional factory to add to the factory to make it ready. Mr. Speaker,
what is your question
to the minister?
He laid the foundation.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Jerry Ahmed.
Mr. Speaker.
The member is on the floor asking question.
Mr. Speaker.
What are you rising on? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, as a value engineering consultant, I want to find out from the minister whether the additional factory that needed to be added to this factory, by the time that factory will be ready, don't we need additional money to repair the old one, which will become causing financial loss to the state? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, you may proceed to answer the question minus causing financial loss to the state, because that will be bordering on incrimination.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the company all put together, and they have said that 38 million cedis will be enough. I want to believe that they have factored all of that into the amount that they will need. It is possible that, looking at the time that has elapsed, they may need to do a trust that they put all of it together to indicate the amount of money that they will need for the two companies to happen. I thank you very much.
Yes, this is a constituency-specific question, but I use the discretion to allow. Question time is supposed to be 1 hour, and we have quite a number of. I recognize members both sides, and I indicated that Honorable Bajra will be the last person to ask question. Can we move to question number 181? Standing in the name of Osahin Alexander Kwamina Apanyo Makins, Member of Parliament for Efutu.
Speaker. Speaker.
Yes.
Speaker, I was really hoping we could just indulge my colleague, just because.
Well, I intend not to exercise my discretion otherwise.
Speaker, it was because I'm saying so because
I intend not to exercise my discretion otherwise.
Very well, Speaker. We yield to.
One. Yes. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I stand on the order 883 to ask this question on behalf of Osahine Alexander Kwamina Afayo Makin.
Honorable Member, Order 88 does not allow you to ask questions on behalf of any other person.
On the authority of...
Order 88 can only allow you when you have the authorization from the questioner.
Speaker, respectfully, she has the authority of the minority leader to ask this question. But
I have his authorization to
Very well. Honorable members, the first thing that you have to do is that you have the authorization of the member, and therefore you are seeking Speaker's permission to ask the question. But if you said you are standing on this order, the order only allows you, provided you have the authorization and the permission from the Speaker. So
Mr.
you may go
Speaker,
ahead.
I'm guided.
Ask the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm guided. I rise to ask the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry the specific incentives and investment promotion packages being deployed to attract private sector investment, given the cancellation of one.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the John Mahama-led NDC government, recognizing the vital role of incentives in attracting investment into the Ghanaian economy. In line with the 24-hour plus economy policy, the Ministry of Finance is working in collaboration with my ministry and other relevant stakeholders to develop appropriate incentive packages. This House will be duly informed once the incentive packages are finalized. I thank you.
Any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I ask the Honorable Minister to clarify whether any component or project under the 1D1F initiative have been integrated into the new investment strategy, and if so, which ones?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much for your question. Mr. Speaker, the policy for the 24-hour economy that has all the package will be brought together when everything is complete. It is still under review. So once all of it is done, we'll bring it to the House and all the packages in will be known. Thank you.
Any further question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the absence of the one district, one factory framework, what concrete measures is the ministry taking to direct private sector investment in the industrial sector, especially in less developed districts?
Honorable Member, please repeat your question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to know from the minister, in the absence of 1D1F framework,
In the absence
concrete
of
measures, in the absence,
honorable members, let's listen to the member in silence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to know from the minister, in the absence of 1D1F framework, what concrete measures is the ministry taking to direct private sector investment in the industrial sector, especially in the less endowed districts? Thank you.
Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry remains committed to all industries in Ghana, and we seek to create the enabling environment for their businesses to thrive. The policy under the 24-hour economy, all the other incentives available, are also available for all industries to take advantage of. I thank you very much.
Yes, honorable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can the minister outline how the current incentive packages, current incentive packages compared in scale and scope, those under 1D1F incentives?
Honorable Minister, the question is, can you outline current incentive packages? Are you asking in respect of 1D1F?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, that is the question.
Mr. Speaker, as I speak to you right now, there are no incentives under 1D1F as a policy in Ghana. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is the ministry, I would like to know from the minister, is the ministry exploring the establishment?
Honorable member, you've asked a lot of questions.
Is the ministry exploring the establishment of new industrial parks or zones as part of the revised investment attraction strategy.
Also based on 1D, 1F. Speaking to the microphone.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister, still on 1D, 1F.
Mr. Speaker, I want to draw my colleagues' kind attention to the fact that as of now, there is no policy as 1D, 1F. I thank you. But in the absence of 1D, 1F, the ministry is into agro-processing parks. And so if you listen to the 24-hour economy launch, the 24-hour economy is the new thing on the block, the game changer, that which seeks to make Ghana very vibrant, irrespective of the minute of the hour, the time of the day. And we are doing agro parks. And these agro parks, which seeks to be a great game changer, especially in the agro processing zones, are being worked on to ensure that we are able to produce more around the clock for import substitution and for export, for foreign exchange earning, and more importantly, to create jobs for our team youth. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member, I think we have exceeded the limit of the question you are supposed to ask. Yes, Honourable Jerry Ahmed.
Speaker, she has 5 questions, respectfully.
By what rules is she entitled to 5 questions? You have the authority to ask the question, but the privileges given under the order, is it extended? You didn't give authority. What is not true? What is not true? You didn't give the authority?
He gave.
Well, going by the record, what she says is that she has your authority. That's why we have permitted her to ask a lot of questions.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, for me, I would always be guided by the President.
Yes.
First, when a member is not available and grants authority to another member to ask questions on the person's behalf, the member asks the question and the supplementary questions that have to be asked are all part of it. Now, if during my temporary absence and knowing that the question was coming up, I authorized a colleague to ask, it is in my name, and I'm entitled to 5 supplementary, and she's supposed to. So, Mr. Speaker,
Leader, with all due respect, how many questions did she ask?
Mr. Speaker, so far 4. It's 4. I was monitoring. Mr. Speaker, I was monitoring.
Honorable, from indication, I'm supposed to indulge her, so I really indulge her. The questions that she asks,
yes,
even on 1D, 1F, are 3 questions.
Mr. Speaker, I was monitoring.
Yes, so
it's 4. She's done 4.
No, she has done even more than the. Look, she has done more than the required questions. Honorable members, I don't think we should belabor this particular point. Let the order guide us. It says that 89, any other member may be allowed to ask not more than 2 supplementary questions, except that the majority and the minority leader or co-leaders may each ask not more than 5 supplementary questions. I still hold the discretions. So is my discretion being challenged in the circumstances? Honourable members, yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the Minister for Trade, what if the ministry is thinking about the transitional issues that will arise from not continuing with the 1D, 1F policy. The reason is that the policy basically, the reason is that the policy was based on tax
Honourable Minority Leader, please, with all due respect, I mean, you are the Minority Leader.
Exactly. Mr. Speaker, the question is about the cancellation of the 1D, 1F policy. And then the minister said that in her answer, that the policy has been cancelled. There's no longer 1D, 1F. We were in this house and we approved many tax exemptions on the understanding that they were going to implement
Honourable
1D,
Leader,
1F.
what is your question?
Yeah, exactly. So the question is, what transitional measures is the ministry thinking of in relation to the cancellation? Because we have factories that we have given tax exemptions of millions of dollars.
Very well. The question is, as Honourable Minister, what's your answer?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Yes, Mr. Speaker, the ministry is in talks, and we are looking at the fallout from the cancellation of the 1D, 1F. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Kinsley Nyako.
Speaker, let me find out from the minister. Since
then, that is the last supplementary question on this question.
I have no problem.
Very well.
Speaker, the minister has confirmed that indeed the 1D, 1F policy has been cancelled. Now, no, I'm just. Can I go on? Speaker, so, and the leader says, what are the temporary measures for the transition? And then she says, they are in discussion. Is it the case that you are not sure of what to do and yet you went ahead to cancel the policy? Is that the case? No, I'm asking you. Is it the case that you said it's been cancelled and the leader asks you what are the transitional measures and you are saying it's been cancelled? I'm asking. So is it the case that you did not consider alternative before cancelling it? I'm asking you a question.
Well, Honourable Minister.
It's a fair question. If check order 89, it's a fair question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the question 181 indicated the last few lines, given the cancellation of the 1 district, 1 factory. So the cancellation of the 1 district, 1 factory should not be attributed to me. I don't own that message. That message of the cancellation of the 1 district, 1 factory is part of this question. And so that question can be asked without recourse to me. I will say that since I did not cancel it, I will not be in the position to give reasons why remedial measures were not given before the cancellation. I thank you very much.
because you had Speaker, because you had earlier given the directive.
Honourable members, you know the problem that I have. Question time has been allotted.
Yeah, Speaker, I respect. I'm respecting your directive. Let me
land. Question time has been allotted. Therefore, when you sit here, you have to moderate, having regard to the number of questions that you ask. Every member may want to ask a supplementary question, but it is not possible to allow that to happen. That is why you may get up, but you may not be recognized to ask a supplementary question. The drafters of the rules, having regard to this, said you may be allowed to ask a supplementary question, but sometimes we behave as if it is as of right. Yes?
Can proceed to the next question.
Very well. Question numbered 235. Standing in the name of Lawrence Ajinsam, Himan Lower Denchira constituency.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry and Agribusiness and Industry what policy measures the ministry is implementing to support the growth and competitiveness of the private sector.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry is driving Ghana's economic transformation by strengthening the private sector through targeted policies and reforms. Key initiative includes Business Regulatory Reforms Program to streamline business-related regulations, the Made in Ghana policy to boost local production, and the Export Ghana policy to enhance global trade competitiveness. Support for MSMEs will scale through financing, incubation, and value chain investment in sectors such as grains, oilseeds, tubers, meat, and meat products. Additionally, sector-specific policies and special economic zones are being developed to attract investment, promote innovation, and position Ghana as a leading manufacturing hub for trade in Africa. Mr. Speaker, to complement these efforts, the Ministry, through the National Coordinating Office of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, is leading the implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, aligning trade policies, engaging stakeholders, and supporting capacity building and market access for Ghanaian businesses across Africa. I thank you.
Any supplementary question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. In line with your answer in terms of export promotion, may I know from the Minister that the current AGOA, the African Growth and Opportunity Act, comes to an end in September 2025. How are we going to help the garment industry should our AGOA be discontinued?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much. Your question indicates that you know which sectors are benefiting under AGOA. AGOA is ending in September. I'm happy to announce that I have started engagements to add our voice as a country for the continuation of AGOA. I've had an initial meeting in Washington, D.C. with the Commerce Department. I followed it up with the U.S. Trade Africa in Angola, trying to add Ghana's voice for the continuation of AGOA. And then also the 10% levy that is put on Ghana. So Ghana is alert. We are discussing, we are prevailing on the United States of America to indicate that AGOA is a win-win for America and Ghana. We know that our garment industry is actually taking advantage of AGOA, and that industry is thriving. And so government is up and doing, and we are in negotiation with the America to ensure that AGOA, like Africa countries, we are all working together that AGWA should be continued. But if that does not happen, then we will do alternative, we'll look at alternative means. But I can say that at the last meeting in Angola, it was positive. The representative from the US says that AGWA may be continued for maybe 2 years, but they will come with different terms, more reciprocity. And so we are in talks to see how we're able to stabilize our trade. I thank you very much.
Any further question?
Yes, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, may I know from the Minister, the Trade and Investment Committee, of which I'm a member, met with some private sector captain of industries, and they raised a question on the smuggling of oil palm, worth about 40 million into the Ghanaian market annually. May I know from the Minister what the ministry is doing to reduce the smuggling of oil palm into the country?
Yes. Yes, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, I'm allowing the question because the question is to ask the Minister for Trade, Industry and Agribusiness what policy measures the ministry is implementing to support the growth and competitiveness of the private sector.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Ministry of Trade and Agribusiness Industry will continue to partner the private sector to ensure that smuggling in our country is discouraged because, of course, it's an illegality, and the ministry will work closely to ensure that all these things are curtailed. Thank you very much.
Honourable Member, you have any further question?
Just to thank the Minister of Trade for the answers given. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Kinsley Nyako.
Mr. Speaker, I want to commend the Minister for the insightful responses. However, Mr. Speaker, she did say that sector-specific policies and special economic zones are being developed to attract investment and all that. My question is if she will be able to let us know some of the sector-specific policies that the ministry is rolling out, and again, how much has been earmarked for the development of the special economic zones and their time of completion. Thank you.
So, Kinsley, your last question is how much?
The question
with
is,
reference to specific amount?
Yeah, I'm asking this question by saying that, as you did tell us, what are these sector-specific policies you intend to roll out? And again, you are talking about the establishment of special economic zones. And I'm saying that how much has been earmarked for that, and when it's going to be completed? Simple question.
No, if you want to know how much, you may file a question. But the rest of the question, the minister may go ahead and
she might know.
answer the question.
Speaker, she might know.
The rule is to avoid surprises.
Oh, this is not a surprise, Mr. Speaker.
Please, go ahead and answer the question, Manos. How much?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is right learning that in Ghana, what we have now is free zones. And so in order for us to have a specialized economic zone, we need a law. And as I speak with you right now, a bill is ready, and then we are going through the processes to ensure that it becomes an act so that Ghana can now have a specialized economic zone for all the benefits that it brings. And some of the programs that we have, I mentioned in my answer, as made in Ghana, export Ghana policies, all these in addition to the feed the industry that I mentioned. All these are policies that are tailored to ensure that we promote our sector.
Yes, Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, the minister in her answers had admitted there is a possibility of AGOA being cancelled. And she had said that she has engaged and she's still in the process of engaging. She's considered reciprocity as one of the key factors to be considered. Reciprocity. Yes, I wish to know from the minister. We can do all this, engage in measures of reciprocity, and still the US of A could still go ahead and cancel the trade engagement, AGOA. Are we considering other alternative business destinations so that in the event of AGOA being cancelled, we will not be caught pants down as a country?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Great question. Mr. Speaker, we can actually do what we have control over, so the question is a good one. Africa has a market of a population of 1.3 billion cedis, Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which we house as a country. And so, even though we are engaging the Americas on AGOA, we are still up and doing with the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, as I indicated. And fortunately, we are dealing with the National Coordinating Office to help more people with the rules of origin, with harmonization, to make sure that we are able to export and trade among ourselves as Africa, because we have the numbers, we have the GDP, and so it is true that in terms of the reciprocity and all of that, AGOA may not be continued, because AGOA, all Africa countries are adding our voices for same to be continued. But we have also agreed as Africa that whilst we work with that one, we must concentrate on AFTA and make sure that we get the benefit of trading among ourselves. So it's a very good question, and we are working on that one. Thank you very much.
Honourable members, before moving to the last question, permit me to acknowledge the presence of some revered visitors in our public gallery. First on my list is Mr. Atika Omar from Turkey, President of Konya Sport and Chief Executive of Omek Holdings. Then we have Ghan Ramazan from Netherlands, a business partner. Then we have Shoemaker Flourish from Netherlands, a business partner. Then we have the famous Augustine Ahimfu, former Black Star player. They are here to visit Honorable Ohini Kwame Frimpong, and will be visiting the Asante Akim North constituency. May I use the opportunity to welcome you to Parliament of Ghana. You are welcome. Honourable members, let's move to question number 240, standing in the name of Fataya Abdul Aziz, Member of Parliament for Savalugu. Honourable member, you have the floor.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry the steps the Minister has taken towards the implementation of the Women in Trade, Agribusiness and Industry Program, particularly concerning the development of the policy intended to support and empower women engaged in cross-border trade. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable member.
Please, let's. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry is implementing a range of strategic investments under the Women in Trade, Agribusiness and Industry program to support and empower women engaged in cross-border trade. A comprehensive policy. Oh, please.
Can we listen to the minister in silence?
A comprehensive policy framework is being developed through broad stakeholder consultation to address key challenges such as limited access to finance, inadequate market information, capacity gaps, and regulatory constraints. Complementary efforts include simplifying trade procedures, training border officials, and fostering safer, more enabling trading environment for women. Through the Ghana Enterprises Agency, the ministry is also delivering tailored training, mentorship, and financial support to enhance the competitiveness and operational capacity of women entrepreneurs. Currently, data collection and research activities are underway to inform evidence-based policymaking and ensure the program sustained relevance and impact. Mr. Speaker, in anticipation of the policy and as part of efforts to support women and youth-led businesses in accessing market opportunities under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, the Ministry, in collaboration with Overseas Development Institute, conducted an assessment of Ghana's preparedness to engage with the AFTA Protocol on youth and women. This activity was undertaken through the Gender and Trade Subcommittee of the National Trade Facilitation Committee, which plays a key role in promoting women's participation in trade. Mr. Speaker, to support this process, the ministry has initiated several relevant activities. These include sensitizing women involved in cross-border trade, training border officials on specified goods declaration procedures for informal cross-border traders, and identifying gender champions to help promote inclusive trade policies across sectors.
Any further question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, can the Honorable Minister confirm whether consultations were held with women traders, cooperatives, and market associations, including those from Savulugu, during the development of the policy and how their inputs have shaped its content? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member, kindly repeat the question.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can the Honorable Minister confirm whether consultations were held with women traders, cooperatives, and market associations, including those from Savulugu, during the development of the policy and how their inputs have shaped its content? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the development of the policy is ongoing, and so I'm sure these people will be engaged. Thank you.
Any further question?
Yes, right, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, has the ministry established any constitutional framework or decks within its structure to oversee the effective implementation of the program? And how will those decks engage with district-level actors, particularly in constituencies like Savulugu? Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Honorable. Well, Honorable Member, may you repeat your question? Honorable Members, the background noise is too much. So it's making it difficult for the minister to get the question.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, has the ministry established any institutional framework or decks within its structure to oversee the effective implementation of the program? And how will these decks engage with district-level actors, particularly in constituencies like Savolugu? Thank you, Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
There is already a desk in the Ministry of Trade Agribusiness that coordinates these activities, working together with the MMDCs. Thank you very much.
Question?
Yes, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. And thank you, Mr. Minister, Madam Minister, for the response so far. Mr. Speaker, can the Honorable Minister confirm whether the ministry is collaborating with key institutions, such as the Ministry of Gender, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and ECOWAS trade bodies, to ensure the effective facilitation of trade for women-led enterprises, including those operating from northern border regions? Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, fortunately, some of these agencies are already agencies of the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, like GEPA, like GA. They are all industries under my ministry, and we're all working together to make sure that the policy that comes out is holistic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member, you have asked your 3 supplementary questions.
I thank the Minister for making herself available to answer the questions. And
very well.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker,
Honorable
for the
Jerry
opportunity.
Ahmed.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Honorable Minister, is the Ministry of Trade and Agribusiness in collaboration with any agency that is about to establish the Women's Bank to do with women in trade for the purposes of supporting women?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes.
Yes, Honorable Kojo Nkrumah.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Honorable Minister, in the 2025 fiscal program, is the budgetary allocation for this Women in Trade, Agribusiness and Industry program together or separate from that of the Women's Bank?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's separate. Yes.
Yes, Honorable Leader.
Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Leader, you have the floor.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I just want her attention so she wouldn't ask me to repeat the question. Honorable Minister, you have indicated that there is a budgetary provision for this initiative, this support to empower women, the policy to support women. When my colleague asked whether they are separate, is this separate from the Women Bank? You say yes. Yes. So we are going there. We are staying there. Are you telling us that indeed in this 2025 fiscal year, specific provisions have been made and released to your ministry to support this initiative? Is that your case?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the policy has already received support from the British High Commission, and that said, support is available, and we are starting the program this Thursday, that is tomorrow. I will not be able to offhand remember the budget lines and remember the figures, but I can say that if I'm given the opportunity, I'll bring the support that we have received from the British. Yes, yes, I have received support from the British High Commission to facilitate this policy. And so money for this policy is not a problem. I thank you.
Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records. The rules say we should not argue, debate. But where the minister contradicts, it's an opportunity for her to clarify. Honorable Minister, the burden of my question was on the budgetary provision in the 2025 fiscal year. I'm not talking about donor support. Is there a GOG support for this in the budget? And if so, do we
Honorable Minority Leader, with all due respect, we've all listened to the question asked by Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. The question simply was to the effect that the budget for the Women's Bank, is it separate from that of this thing? So the answer is that it's separate. Separate meaning what is allocated for the Women's Bank is not what they are using. And the minister comes to answer that they are using a donor.
Mr. Speaker,
that is the understanding that I got.
No.
If you have a different understanding.
No, Mr. Speaker. She first said.
He did not even premise his question on
Mr.
the allocation
Speaker,
in the
Mr.
government
Speaker,
budget and all those things.
No, Mr. Speaker, no. Mr. Oppong Nkrumah premised it on the fiscal 2025 fiscal year. He said that in the 2025 budget, a provision was made for the women banking and this initiative.
Yes.
Are they the same? And her answer was that
no,
they are different.
Yes.
So my question to her,
yes,
my question,
yes,
basically,
yes,
is that the
Honorable Minority Leader, please proceed. Your question is, please ask your question. Honorable Minority Leader, please do ask your question.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, you've heard it. Mr. Speaker, look in a
please
direction.
Do
and
ask the question.
So you are not looking in a direction. Very well. No problem. No problem. Fairness cannot be expected all the time. Mr. Speaker, can the minister tell us the specific amount provided for in the budget to support this initiative?
And the minister comes to say they are using donor funding. Because that was the answer provided.
Mr. Speaker, I don't want to be doing back and forth with you. Respectfully, Mr. Speaker, respectfully. That was not what she said. That was not what she said.
Even
Maybe she
mentioned
can
British,
repeat. Let her
British
repeat
High
it.
Commission.
No. Earlier, Mr. Speaker, earlier she said there was a provision. And then she said she has even received additional. And that if we give her the opportunity, she will bring the document. That is what she said. So I want to know from you that this provision, is it only a donor support or there's a GOG support?
Yes.
As
So
well?
now you are asking a question. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if specific figures are required of me, with the greatest respect, I need to be apprised so that I can provide those kind of information. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Any further question?
Rightly so. Rightly so, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, given the opportunity, is the minister able to provide those documents to this House? Mr. Speaker, that's not a question. It's a commitment. No? 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 It's not a question. It's a request. Then I can ask my question. We need her assurance to make it available. Then I can ask my next question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. All these documents, even though are in Parliament already, especially the budget, I'm happy and willing to provide my budget so that we see the budget lines. And I'm willing, for example, to also provide any donor support I've received relative to this policy. I thank you.
Mr. Speaker, can the minister share with us, in the implementation of this policy, how she intends to select the beneficiaries?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the policy is going to be drawn by all of us, including the minority leader. And so whatever we put in the policy is what we will implement. So I am sure that at the... You didn't even listen to the question. I'm answering the question somebody has asked.
You are hereby directed not to speak to anybody across. Honorable Minister, you are hereby directed not to speak to anybody across.
As I indicated earlier to you, based on the question that was asked, when the policy is done, it will be a reflection of what we all agree. And so, I am sure that whatever the minority leader has in mind will be brought to fore. We all deliberate. And then whatever the minority leader will contribute in the discussion, since it will be individuals who will be called upon to also Mr. Speaker, the minority leader is respectfully distracting my attention. And so, Mr. Speaker, I will say that whatever we all agree will be in the policy for implementation.
Honourable members, statement time has ended. Question time has ended. Majority Leader, any indication?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker. The Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill was introduced and referred by your good self to a committee.
Honourable Minister, you are hereby discharged. Thank you very much for attending upon the House and providing answers to numerous questions posed to you.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to vary the order of business so that we can take the order paper addendum. The Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture has indicated that she wants to withdraw the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill that was laid in the House some time ago and referred to the committee, and then really a new bill. So if we can vary the order of business to enable us to take the item on the order paper addendum.
Yes, the application is to vary the order of business to take order paper addendum.
Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, there is no order paper addendum. The majority leader knows the practice of this house. When we agree to do any business and there's a need to bring any new business, you engage your colleague. Mr. Speaker, there hasn't been any prior engagement. We don't know what they want to do. The usual surprises. I sit here, no other people addendum.
It's being uploaded.
The uploading, Mr. Speaker, sometimes allow us to make our point. Anytime we are making our point, you are coming in to assist. When it's the other side, you allow absolute silence on your side. Please, Mr. Speaker.
So I don't assist the other side.
Which is the other side? This side. The majority leader, when he's even where?
So what I'm even telling you is by way of assistance.
Mr. Speaker, no.
Or you don't need my
Mr.
assistance.
Speaker, with respect, I'm saying that the other paper addendum they've just printed, there was no prior consultation.
Very well, you are now talking.
Okay? 2, looking at the mood of the house, I don't know what his further pleasure is. So, Mr. Speaker, that's all the point I want to make. This first reading, why are you nodding? Why are you nodding in agreement with me? Which agreement? After causing mischief, after causing so much turbulence in this house today, you are now a diplomat. No, I don't need your diplomacy. After causing so much turbulence, you want the fisheries minister to come and withdraw and lay. When you were bringing it, you didn't do your consultation. You want to withdraw and lay what? It has to be done with proper consultation before you bring a document to this chamber. Mr. Speaker, the majority leader did not engage his colleagues, as is the practice, unless the speaker will rule that since they are the majority, they can do anything. That one, we can't do anything about it. If it's the position of the speaker that the rules allow and that they will use common sense to interpret the rules, so be it. We cannot challenge the speaker. Our job is not to challenge the speaker. We will yield in obedience to the speaker. But we are telling the majority leader that there was no prior consultation.
I will resist any attempt to be invited and be provoked. I will not.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Yeah, I must apologize for not engaging him. Not. I must apologize for not engaging him, but I will say that the bill was considered by your committee, and I think he has members on the committee. They worked on the bill, and then you referred the bill to me for winnowing. So when the committee met, and there were members on the other side who were at the winnowing committee meeting. So when we met, we realized that what had happened was that the Agri Committee met and then invited stakeholders. There were amendments proposed by the FAO, Fisheries Commission, and other stakeholders, and individual members also had some proposals for amendments, and so the committee had its own amendments. So they referred all these amendments back to the Attorney General's office to be incorporated into the bill. And that was what was brought to the committee for winnowing. And I said that once they had referred it back to the Attorney General and all the recommendations of the committee had been captured in the new bill that the Attorney General had presented to them, then the appropriate thing to do is to withdraw the bill and then relay the amended bill. That would be neater than the committee bringing a report to this chamber with a very tall list of amendments, and that would delay us at consideration stage. So essentially, that is the reason why I recommended at winnowing committee that they should consider withdrawing the old bill and then laying a new one that captures all the proposed amendments of the committee, having consulted all stakeholders. So I should have, given indications to him that this happened, but I thought that some of his members who were at the winnowing committee meeting would have relayed the message to him. So I apologize not engaging you, but I know that you are a very kind person, and being a chief, even though his kind of chieftaincy doesn't disqualify him from being a member of parliament, I believe that he would accept and allow the minister to withdraw, and then if leave is granted by Right Honourable Speaker in this House, she will withdraw the bill and then we'll relay the new bill.
Yes.
Speaker, the leader of the House has spoken, and ordinarily I should yield. I will yield. But I have some few comments. Mr. Speaker, I would agree with the honorable leader if he says that the committee, through winnowing, came up with some further recommendations, and that perhaps is informing the withdrawal and relay. It's not the first we're experiencing a situation like this. But Mr. Speaker, to the extent that as part of his submission, he now adds that stakeholders like FAO came with some input, and that consultation is leading to the withdrawal as additional grounds to support the withdrawal. I find same to be very rich in the sense that, Mr. Speaker, the ministry, before coming to Parliament, must engage its internal stakeholders. So that is where my problem is. Was this rushed? And I recall when the minister came, her application was for us to consider it under certificate of urgency. Why would you come to Parliament before consulting FAO? No, that's the submission of the leader. Why wasn't there broader consultation, Mr. Speaker? We've seen this in this House before, where the Doomsday levy was brought and later on stakeholders were raising concerns. They rushed it through the night. And after the levy had been passed by the majority side in the dead of night, stakeholders were raising alarm. And now they are saying they are doing further consultation until 16 June. If I were government, I would listen to the concerns of the people, not to even implement the Doomsday levy. If you mean well, like you are doing now, then you should even have done so in the Doomsday levy situation. We are not seeing that. And then you come, you say, oh, now FAO and other bodies have made input. Mr. Speaker, if this government really means to reset Ghana, and it believes that consultation is part of the process of resetting, then it should do so. Mr. Speaker, we've had situations where even this 24-hour economy, Parliament was not at all involved in the debate. Then you go and say that you've implemented, you have launched the 24-hour economy without Parliament. It's the same thing that is happening. But for the vigilance of the Agri Committee, this bill was going to be rushed.
Honorable.
And now, Mr. Speaker, I may have to end. I listened to the leader of government.
But
business.
Honorable Minority Leader, let's carry everybody along.
It is so. It's been done.
Yes, we carry everybody along in the sense that the ministry at their level may do a stakeholder consultation. But when the bill is referred to the committee, the committee, in order to have a better understanding, sometimes invite the stakeholders and take input from the stakeholders. and the input from the stakeholders can translate into a proposal of amendment of some provisions of the bill. That is normally what we do when the bills are referred to committees. So that does not mean that the ministry have not done stakeholder engagement. That is why the committee engage in stakeholder engagement. You know, I have been involved in processing bills in this particular house, and you can ask. Sometimes the AG will do their consultation, refer a bill to constitutional legal, and the constitutional legal would also engage in stakeholder engagement. I am not, but just to draw your attention to what really happens.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, our main concern is the extent of stakeholder consultation at the ministerial level. I agree. And Mr. Speaker, I was in this house, and Mr. Speaker, on the 7th of January 2013, who were sworn in? You came in later. So in terms of age, I've been here longer in the processes. So I know, and I agree with you.
But
if you say that...
In terms of the bill processing, you must defer to me.
Mr. Speaker, you are the speaker. Mr. Speaker, here you are the speaker. If you come to ECOWAS, I'm a speaker there. So, but here, who are we? Mr. Speaker, who are we? When you are presiding, you take all the powers.
Speaker, you are
but one day you come to Abuja.
A third deputy speaker.
Mr. Speaker, one day you come to Abuja, where my powers are. But it's okay. You have your powers. Mr. Speaker, my issue here is the level of consultation by the minister. Yes. Oh, okay. Honorable Minister, I get the gesture. I get the gesture. I know, don't worry, I get the gesture. I lived in a compound house, I get the gesture. I stayed in a compound house, so the cameras are capturing you very well. Don't worry, Minister, the cameras are capturing you. We are saying that, yes, we are saying that the consultation should have been brought. You don't rush your bill here and then expect Parliament to do your work for you. That is my issue. I agree that yes, of course, Parliament invites stakeholders, but not when you have failed to do your consultation. Because if you have done it well, if you did it and did it well, FAO will not now come and say that they are making input. That's my problem.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, no one has said that in formulating the original bill, FAO, Fisheries Commission, and the various stakeholders were not consulted. Nobody has said that. But when the bill comes and it is referred to a committee, the committee has a responsibility to engage in further consultations. There is a difference between the consultations undertaken by a ministry when developing a policy and having a bill drafted, and the engagements undertaken by a committee of this House after it has taken possession of a bill. There are two different matters. There are two different matters. You've been in this House longer than the Speaker. You should know this by now. You should know this by now. When the ministry is engaging stakeholders and drafting bill, once it is laid here, the bill is no longer a property of the ministry. It is perfectly possible that the stakeholders at the level of consultation with the ministries have some proposal which the ministries rejected. But when it comes before Parliament, Parliament would consult those stakeholders. Parliament may have disagreements with the ministry and decide to admit the proposals of the stakeholders. It doesn't mean that the ministry did not consult. So, Mr. Speaker, that is what has happened in this instance. When you referred it to the committee, your committee further engaged the different stakeholders, and they had some additional amendments in addition to the committee also having their own proposed amendments. And the amendments were many, so the decision was to refer it back to the Attorney General to see how they could tidy it up. And so they brought it to us at Winnowing Committee, and I said, look, the best is to actually withdraw the old one and then lay the new one so that we can expedite the passage of the bill. It has nothing to do with the failure of the committee to consult. Mr. Speaker, the levy that he's complaining about, this House was consulted. He participated in the debate actively. He participated in the debate. The bill was laid here. We debated it. You debated, but decided not to participate in the vote. That's what happened. That's what happened. And it was not in the dead of the night. The lights were on. Mr. Speaker, the lights were on, and we're live on television, and the whole nation was watching us. It was not in the dead of the night. Everybody, every Ghanaian was a witness to what happened. Mr. Speaker, and we passed the bill on a condition that it will not lead to increase in fuel prices at the ex-pump. And because we haven't really been able to do that, we are holding on with implementation. These are people who keep their promises. We keep our promises. So, Mr. Speaker, I think that he has no issue with the matter. Oh. Mr. Speaker, I crave the indulgence of the House to allow the minister to withdraw the bill and then relay the bill.
Yes, Honorable Nyimedu, entry.
Mr. Speaker, not long ago, when the majority leader was sitting somewhere here, there was an issue, and he raised it. He personally said that his leadership was not consulted and that he would not succumb to surprises. Mr. Speaker, today he sits as majority leader. The most serious aspect of what they are discussing is the fact that our arrowhead is not consulted and he is giving the other paper in this chamber. That is not fair. I would have thought that the majority leader would get up and say that he will withdraw it, consult, and come and relay it. All these other things about who the ministry having done consultation or not having done consultation would have been trashed within leadership. It is not everything that we have to come and put it before cameras. So I pray majority leader should do the right thing. I do not know what is happening here, but I cannot sit here when my arrowhead himself is surprised in the chamber. That is not fair. The proper consultation must be done. Debate is not consultation. Thank you.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, this is a very simple matter. Mr. Speaker, this is a bill that was laid in this House, property of the House. Mr. Speaker, you referred it to your committee. Your committee went and brought some proposed amendments. It was captured in their report. On the day that they were going to take it, you, Mr. Speaker, referred it to my committee, the winnowing committee. The winnowing committee met this afternoon. And at the meeting, we concluded that the best thing to do is to withdraw the bill and then relay the bill. Very simple matter. So we invited the minister. There were members on the other side who were on the committee, and they participated in the deliberations, and we all concluded as a committee that the best thing to do is to withdraw the bill. I was expecting that they would mention it to their leadership, but I have indeed admitted that I should have signaled him. But Mr. Speaker, the whole day he's been very, very belligerent. He's been fighting ministers, fighting his colleague leadership, and because of that, there was no space for engagement. Mr. Speaker, even you, he fought you the whole day. He's been fighting you, fighting everybody. There was no room for engagement. No room for engagement. Mr. Speaker, if we relay the bill, then we can engage on the new proposal that the ministry is bringing. So let us withdraw what is before us, relay the new bill, and then we can engage on the new bill. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't better accept it.
Honorable members, I'm inclined to grant leave, and leave is hereby granted for the withdrawal of the bill. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, guided by Order 173, I wish to request the leave of the House to withdraw the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill earlier laid in this House as a result of further comments that have come up. So, Mr. Speaker, I hereby seek leave to withdraw the bill as laid on 3rd June and accordingly request to be allowed to lay the updated bill titled Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill 2025.
Leave is accordingly granted.
Then what? So go ahead. That you now request. Bow. Bow and sit down.
Yes. So, at commencement of public business.
So, Mr. Speaker, if we can now take
presentation and first reading of bills.
Bills, yes.
An act to review and consolidate the laws relating to the sustainable exploitation of fisheries resources, establish the Fisheries Commission to ensure the long-term conservation, development, management, and utilization of fisheries and aquaculture resources, contribute to the attainment of sustainable blue economy, and to provide for related matters.
Honourable members, the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill 2025 is accordingly read the first time and referred to the committee responsible for Food, Agriculture, and Cocoa Affairs Committee. Yes, Honourable Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, the bill is not gazetted and therefore brought under a certificate of urgency as previously done.
I would urge upon the committee to consider the agency or otherwise and report to this House.
So we should close.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the minority are complaining that they are tied. Mr. Speaker, as you can see, this side of the House is depleted. It's a manifestation of exhaustion. Members have gone home to rest. And so, Mr. Speaker, we're in your hand because we've been sitting for more than 5 hours.
Honourable members, we've been sitting in excess of 5 hours, fortified by Standing Order 56. I have the authority to adjourn the House, and accordingly, the House is hereby adjourned till Wednesday, the 9th day of July, 2025 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.